So today we're gonna talk about the topic of sex. I tweeted about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago and I asked you guys to send me some of your questions that you may have on this topic. I know that sex is something that is very personal and I don't want anyone to feel like they have to put their information on blast. That is why I created an email so you guys are able to send me your questions through there. Everything is going to be anonymous, no names are going to be mentioned. I'm just going to answer questions that most of you asked and questions that I think will give you guys a lot of information about this topic. So yeah, this video is actually made in collaboration with Bayer and its partners for their It's Your Life, It's Your Future campaign. So this week is actually World Contraception Week. This campaign is here to encourage people to find a contraception method that works for them and to encourage people to feel comfortable in their sexuality and for us to live in a world where every pregnancy is wanted. On their website, yourlife.com, you guys can find more information about different options that are available. And they also have a section called #AFriendOfMine. This section is basically a section where people can go on there and share their experiences, their stories anonymously, or you can even ask on behalf of a friend. Alright, so there is a lot of stuff I need to talk about in this video, so I'm just gonna get started. It's gonna get personal and I hope that you guys feel comfortable with this. I hope this is just a space for us sisters to join together and talk about things that may be uncomfortable to talk about with other people. So let's just jump right into the first question. Hey Waylie, I'm in a little situation here. My ex and I broke up about a year ago and we were together for over a year and we've known each other for over 3 years. We still have sex a lot. I care about him a lot and it's to the point where I can't imagine having sex with anybody else. He is not my first and we don't kiss at all. I've tried and he did not kiss me back. Do you think that's too intimate for him? Am I a booty call? Am I just making it worse for myself? I don't think he cares about me. Please answer this. I can't tell you whether or not he treats you as a booty call, but if that is what you're feeling, I think it's really important for you to just talk to him. I know this is something that is scary and you may have thoughts of where am I gonna lose him over this? What is gonna happen? I think there has to be a time where you just sit down and talk to him, not over text, not over a phone call. Tell him your feelings. Ask him, where do you guys even stand? Does he see himself getting back together with you? Is he seeing other people? Just ask him all the questions that you have been having and I'm sure you have many, many questions for him. And I think another question that is really important that you gotta ask yourself is, what do you want? Do you want to stay with him? Is he someone that you see yourself with? Are you happy just being someone that he has sex with, or do you want to be more than that? But I must say, no one should ever feel just unwanted. I mean, go with your gut. But nonetheless, I would still talk to him, get his response, because hey, maybe he just has trouble expressing himself. Maybe he's going through some things as well, so he's just acting a little standoffish. Who knows? You will never know until you ask. So girl, put on your big girl panties, build up that courage, and go talk to him. Which hole does the penis actually go in? Wouldn't it feel uncomfortable or hurt? Alright girl, so this was actually my biggest question. There are 2 holes, alright? There is your pee hole and then there is your vagina. If you wear a tampon, that is the same hole that the penis will go in. So if you're looking down at yourself right now, the first hole you will see, or well, you can't see it, but the first hole you will feel, that is your pee hole. That is where your urine comes out of, and then right behind that is your vagina. So that is the hole that the penis would go inside of. I mean, as long as you're lubricated, you really should not be feeling like an excruciating amount of pain. You will feel a bit of pressure, but at the same time, you should not confuse pressure with pain. Like if it is extremely painful and it just does not feel right, then I would say you might have to go get it checked out. I have heard stories from other people where they're having sex and it's really painful, and after they go to the doctor, they find out that something's actually wrong. So just make sure you get that checked out if you do feel a huge amount of pain that is just not really like the normal. My boyfriend and I have been dating for about 2.5 weeks now, after being friends in high school for 4 years and getting to know each other better over the summer. We haven't hit 4th base yet, but we are at 3. I feel like 2.5 weeks is really early to have sex in a serious relationship. He is fine with taking it at my pace, but I feel a little self-conscious knowing that everyone in college is doing it and knowing he wants to do it. I keep telling myself that the right moment will come, but when will I know? How long does someone typically wait, and do most girls regret their first time? I don't want it to be casual and over it. I want it to be special and memorable. I know exactly what you're feeling because I did not lose my virginity until my college years, and even when I was in college, people were like, what? You're still a virgin? And I just got so much pressure where I thought like, okay, am I like living under a rock or something? Am I supposed to not be a virgin? You should not ever feel pressured. You should not even let the fact that people are already having sex and that you're still a virgin be something that makes you feel insecure. And girl, if he wants to take it at your own pace and when you're comfortable, he is a keeper, honey. I mean, if he's not pressuring you at all, why even think about it? You guys have only been together for about 2.5 weeks, and there is just so much more to think about in a relationship than sex. I mean, you guys are at the stage where it should be so sweet. You guys should be going on all these dates, getting to know each other, staying on the phone till the morning. I mean, FaceTiming all the time, good morning text and all that good stuff. I mean, there's just so much to just like be excited for right now than worrying about sex. Like, sex is something that will come naturally, and it seems like this guy really respects you, and maybe you're thinking that that's what he wants because in your mind you're like worried about it, but maybe he's not even thinking about that. Maybe he's just wanting to get to know you. And as for when you will be ready, honestly, I was really worried that I would never know when I'm gonna be ready. When I lost my virginity, it was the most like natural thing that happened. There was no pressure. It just kind of happened when we were having cuddle sesh. Knowing the right moment is when you feel like, I'm not gonna regret this. I feel comfortable and this is what I want right now. Also, since it is the first time you're having sex, or actually even if you're someone who has had sex before, it is very important to make sure that you go to the doctor and get checkups regularly. Sex is not just sex. It's not just what the media or maybe your friends and people around you are portraying it as. It is something where you really do need to be responsible and know the facts before you get yourself into it. I can't even tell you how many times people have told me stories where they assumed that their partner is STD free and clean, but which they actually were not. And also, another thing you should know is that condoms are the only method that will prevent you from STI infections and HIV. Before you have sex, both you and your partner go get tested and make sure you guys are ready for it. If your partner doesn't agree with going to get tested with you, then girl, you should really think about who you with. What do you do when you aren't confident about your body, but you are being pressured into sex? I love you. I love you too, my sister. You should not feel pressured into having sex. If you are, you need to run the other direction. Stop talking to that person because no one should ever be pressured into it. As for not feeling confident in your body, I mean, just because the media is portraying what is an ideal body and what is perfect and what is sexy, doesn't mean that that is the definition of being sexy and beautiful. But let me just say, if you're with the right person, they will love your body for whatever it is. We should all learn to love ourselves instead of just pointing everything out and picking at ourselves. I'm at the stage of my relationship where me and my boyfriend are both ready for sex. However, it'll be the first time for both of us. I have heard about the pull-out method. Is that really reliable enough? We want to be safe and well protected. How did you go about getting info about birth control and what was the process? If you are looking into getting birth control, go to the doctor and talk to them, let them know your lifestyle, and I'm pretty sure they would be able to lay out all the options and tell you what kind of methods there are out there and see which one works best for your lifestyle. While you should talk to your doctor, I think it's very important for you to talk to your partner as well. Make sure he is also educated about all the different methods out there and which one you will be taking as well. And as for the pull-out method, honey, the pull-out method is probably the least effective method, and I really do not suggest people to do that. That is really putting yourself at risk of becoming pregnant. I mean, there are so many different options for birth control that the pull-out method really should not even be a method, because I just feel like with the pull-out method, you're constantly worrying about it. So if you want to know more about different types of methods that you can use, you can either go talk to your doctor or you can also check out yourlife.com. There's a lot of information about that kind of stuff. In your opinion, are condoms good enough on their own as birth control method? Or is it absolutely necessary for the girl to take a type of birth control as well, such as the pill, the patch, IUD, and etc.? So I've been on my birth control pills for about 4 years now, and it has worked great for me. It's very effective for me. And I know a lot of people that just use condoms as their main birth control method, and condoms are proven to be 98% effective if you are using them correctly to prevent you from STI infections and HIV. I would say keep in mind that accidents can happen. I've actually had a friend who got pregnant because the condom slipped off, and I've heard stories where the condom was broken. So that's my only thing with just using a condom. I feel like could be a little risky. I would have to say that condoms are still way more effective than the withdrawal method. And also another thing to keep in mind is that you can still get pregnant if you're having sex during your period. Also, another method that I hear people use is the counting your fertile days method. That method is also highly unpredictable because you honestly never really know. So I wouldn't rely on that method either. Sex is not just about reproduction. It should be fun and it should be be pleasurable, and having safe sex will just make it that much more enjoyable. If you're constantly having to worry about, am I gonna get pregnant or am I gonna get an STI infection, that is something that really takes away from the experience. So just make sure that you are protected and are being safe. I mean, personally for me, and I'm sure a lot of people feel this way as well, there is a time and place where we would want to get, not we, but like, you know, us as women would want to get pregnant, have a kid, start a family, and if right now is just not the time for you, it definitely is important for you to just be educated about it and be able to have a safe and enjoyable sex. I'm in a relationship with my dream boy since about 3 months, and we can't keep our hands off each other. Have you got a tip on how we can sleep with each other during my period, and do we need to be protected during that time? If you really are just in the mood during your period and you must have sex with each other, I would say the best way and the cleanest way is to do it in the shower, because at least it's not getting all over the sheets. Just make sure that you are on some type of birth control method and make sure that you are using a condom. Does safer sex mean I can do it without protection, or what exactly is it? So having safe sex means that you are taking all the precautions and getting educated about it before you go into having sex. For example, knowing all the different methods out there and what works best for your body, and also getting both yourself and your partner to the doctor to get tested to make sure that you guys are ready and safe to have sex. I know in this video I keep telling you guys to go to the doctor, get tested, be safe, but I am so serious about this. Like, sex is not just what the media talks about. I mean, I'm not a doctor, I can't tell you everything about it. I mean, even till now I feel like there's more for me to learn. So that is why I'm suggesting that anyone who plans on being sexually active or are sexually active should go and see a doctor. How can I tell if I'm fertile? Are there any body signs I can simply read? As far as predicting your fertile days, there really is not a very effective way on predicting it. I did a little bit of research for you. There's not actually any body signals that your body would get to let you know when you're ovulating. So predicting your fertile days is really not like super effective, and there's really not something that your body will tell you like, hey, did you know that sperm can live in your body for up to 6 days? Even if your cycle is pretty regular, the timing of your fertile window can be very, very unpredictable. So yeah, I really wouldn't count on that method, but instead find something else that would work better. All right, so those were the 10 questions that I've picked out of the emails that you guys sent me. There was a ton, and I know that I probably didn't get back to some of you guys' questions, but I tried to combine some of the questions with other questions so that way it's kind of like more inclusive. Hopefully that was helpful. I mean, this is like the first time I ever got this personal in a video and talked about all this kind of stuff. Again, whenever I talk about this kind of stuff, I really must let you guys know that I am no doctor. Obviously, I am just a YouTuber and your sister. The best way for you to get any type of information is talk to someone that is professional, such as your doctor, or you can check on yourlife.com to just get a little bit more information. And if you guys would like to share a story, be sure to use the hashtag #AFriendOfMine. So that is all for today, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!